Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Today we are going to talk about types of ovules on the basis of nucellus. Okay, you know that nucellus, it is the largest part of the ovule, and this nucellus houses embryo sac and represents the wall of the megasporangium. Let's move back to see the nucellus and the ovular structure. Here, this is the structure of ovule. This portion, it is the nucellus. It is composed of diploid cells, and this houses the embryo sac or female gametophyte. So you can say it forms the wall of the embryo sac. Okay, so the nucellus is the main portion of the ovule. It is the bulk portion of the ovule. Now, depending upon the type of nucellus, what is the type of nucellus found in an ovule? There are different types of ovules, mostly three types of ovules. The first one that we are going to talk about is 10-minucellate ovule. Those ovules where nucellus occurs as a single layer around the sporogenous cell. Okay, such types of ovules where nucellus is present as a single layer around the sporogenous cell, they are known as 10-minucellate ovules. Now, how this condition arises, I will make you understand here. This is the nucellar epidermis, this one. I will make it here. This is the outermost layer of nucellus. You have obviously other layers inside this layer. Say for example, this cell which is present below the outer layer, or which is subepidermal, or you can say which is hypodermal. Okay, this cell starts functioning as archosporium or archosporial cell. Okay, this archosporial cell, instead of dividing further, it starts behaving as megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cell later on forms the megaspores that we are going to talk about in megasporogenesis. Okay, this starts functioning as megaspore mother cell. So the megaspore mother cell, or you can say simply sporogenous cell, it is hypodermal because it is covered just by a single layer of nucellar epidermis. This condition, where the sporogenous cell or megaspore mother cell is covered by a single layer of epidermis, this is known as 10-minucellate condition. The 10-minucellate ovules are mostly found in sympately. Sympatly is a group of plants. Okay, or you can say they are found in gamopatly or sympatly. Gamopatly or sympatly means the one and the same thing. Okay, since you have a single layer of epidermis, the ovules are definitely going to be unitegmic. This is very much important. The 10-minucellate ovules are unitegmic. I will repeat the details. Those ovules where nucellus occurs as a single layer around the sporogenous cell or megaspore mother cell, they are known as 10-minucellate ovules. This condition arises when a cell here, it starts behaving as archosporial cell or archosporium, and instead of dividing further, it functions as megaspore mother cell. Okay, so the megaspore mother cell is hypodermal as it is covered by a single layer of nucellar epidermis here, and this condition is found in sympatry. Since we have a single layer of epidermis here, nucellar epidermis, the ovules are going to be unitegmic. Now, the second type is cross-nucellate. In these ovules, the nucellus is massive and the sporogenous cell is deeply embedded. How? Let's make it here. This is the nucellar epidermis. We are going to have other layers. Okay, say for example here. Now, one of the cells, say this cell, it starts functioning as archosporium or archosporial cell. Now, this archosporial cell here, in this case, in case of cross-nucellate ovules, it does not directly function as megaspore mother cell. Instead, it divides into two cells: outer parietal cell and inner sporogenous cell, which is known as MMC. megaspore mother cell. So the megaspore mother cell in this case, it is not hypodermal, it is subhypodermal. Okay, it is subhypodermal. Here in this case, it is subhypodermal. It is present below the hypodermal layer. In the previous, in tenunucleate condition, the sporogenous cell was inside this, inside the epidermis. Okay, it is present next to the hypodermal layer. I will repeat. Say this is the nuclear epidermis. You have one more layer. I will show only one cell. This cell, it starts behaving as archosporial cell. Now it divides into primary parietal cell and primary sporogenous cell, which is known as MMC, megaspore mother cell. So the sporogenous cell here, megaspore mother cell, it is subhypodermal. It is not hypodermal. Okay. The primary parietal cell here, it remains undivided, or in some cases it divides to form parietal tissue. I say this is primary parietal cell. Now we have this megaspore mother cell. It divides multiple times and forms additional layers of nucellus, so that this megaspore cell, it gets deeply embedded within the nucellus. अंदर की ओर जा रहा है. When this divides, it forms additional layers and this gets embedded within the nucellus. Okay. Such condition is present in polypetalae. It's a group of plants, and monocots, another major group of plants. Okay. It is present in polypetalae and monocots. Since you have multiple layers of cells above the sporogenous cell or megaspore mother cell, usually you have two layers when the parietal cell does not divide. Okay, usually you have two layers. When it divides, you have multiple layers. Usually you have two layers of epidermis. The ovules are definitely going to be bitechnic. Now the third one is pseudo-crassinucleate. In this condition, the archosporium does not divide and the parietal cell is absent, just like the tenunucleate condition. The archosporium or archosporial cell does not divide and the parietal cell is absent. But the sporogenous cell or megaspore mother cell, in this case, it is also subhypodermal. It is covered by nucellar tissue formed from nucellar epidermis. Let's make it here. Example is Nigella. Say this is the nucellar epidermis. You have this cell which starts functioning as archosporium or archosporial cell. It does not divide just like the crassinucleate ovules. It remains as such and functions as megaspore mother cell. But in this case, this megaspore mother cell, it gets deeply embedded. It is covered by many layers of nucellus, just like the crassinucleate ovules. How? I will tell you how this happens. This is the nucellar epidermis. It divides, forms many layers. It divides, forms many layers, and obviously the cell, the archosporium, or you can say the megaspore mother cell, because archosporium directly functions as megaspore mother cell, it gets embedded within the nucellus. Okay, that is why this condition is known as pseudo-crassinucleate condition. It is not a true crassinucleate condition. Okay, here the additional nucellar layers, the additional layers of nucellus, they are formed by the division of the epidermal nucellar layer. Okay, they do not arise by the division of the parietal cell, just like in case of crassinucleate ovules. And this condition is specifically present in some plants. Let's quote here Nigella. Okay, so the pseudo-crassinucleate condition is that condition when the sporogenous cell, it becomes embedded within the nucellus due to the division of the epidermal nuclear layer. Okay, let us have a look on the tenuinucleate and cross nucleate condition here. This is the megaspore mother cell or sporogenous cell. It is covered by a single layer of epidermis. Okay, this is the main distinguishing feature of tenuinucleate ovules. And here, this is the cross nucleate ovule. It becomes deeply embedded with the nucellus because the parietal cell, it divides multiple times and pushes the megaspore mother cell inside the nucellus. Okay, so this is all about the types of ovules based on the nucellus. In the next part, we are going to talk about megasporogenesis and female gametophyte development. Till then, stay blessed and take care.